Hey everyone, Gerard here. So recently, the Department of Labor and Employment announced increase in minimum wage around the Philippines. So related to this topic, I'll be talking about tax on minimum wage earners. Last May 14, 2022, the Wage Board approved an increase in minimum wage in some areas of the Philippines, particularly in Metro Manila, wherein non-agricultural workers will now receive 570 pesos, while those working in agriculture will be 533. It's also notable that some regions also increased their rates. Accordingly, the increase is expected to help millions of workers, especially with prices of basic commodities have increased. For those who aren't really familiar with the term, minimum wage earners are workers in the private or public sector paid with compensation income of not more than the statutory minimum wage, depending on the region the worker is assigned to. For the latest daily minimum wage rates, you can visit the website of the National Wages and Productivity Commission. I will link it in the description below. So according to Revenue Regulation 8-2018, which is actually the implementing rules and regulation of trainlaw, the following are exempted from income tax for minimum wage earners. The first one is minimum wage rates. This depends on which region the worker is assigned. Second is holiday pay for regular and special holiday pay in the Philippines. Next would be overtime pay, which is compensation for work beyond normal working hours. Fourth one is night shift differential pay, which is 10% of regular wage for work done from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. And lastly is hazard pay. So anything not mentioned as exempted by law may not still be taxable in the purview of statutory limits of de minimis benefits and the 90,000 13-month pay bonus. For us to understand this better, let's have some illustrations. A minimum wage earner has only his salary from employment as his source of income for the year. Total compensation income for the year is 135,000. His total contribution to SSS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig totaled 5,000 and 13-month pay amounted to 11,000. How much is the income tax of the minimum wage earner? The answer is none, because for minimum wage earners, their compensation income shall be exempted from income tax. In our next example, adding to our previous illustration, what if the minimum wage earner receive overtime pay of 80,000, night shift differential of 30,000, hazard pay of 15,000, and holiday pay of 15,000? Considering his mandatory contribution and 13-month pay is still the same from our previous illustration, being 5,000 and 11,000 respectively. How much is the tax due? The answer is still the same as I mentioned earlier in this video. These additional pay are exempted from income tax for a minimum wage earner. Thus, the income tax due is none. Lastly, it's worth mentioning that if the minimum wage earner is classified as a mixed income earner, which means he also earns from a business, such earnings from the business shall be taxable for income tax purposes. And that's it. So thanks for staying up to this part of this video. You can also watch my video on withholding tax on compensation income for employees, which is also related to this video. And if you found this video very helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have any further questions, you can comment down below. I'll try my best to answer all of them. So this is Gerard. I'll talk to you in the next one.